What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Cut the Crap. I'm your host, Christian, here rocking my 5-0 Yankees. Let's go, baby. Woo! Here with my boy. We're going to go with Steven because Rex over here disrespecting wearing that Detroit hat and shit. Like, listen, Yankees all day, baby. Just remember that.
D-Town Boogie, you know I wear nothing but fashion statements around here, my boy. D-Town Boogie, get out of here.
How you doing today, Steven?
You see, I had a Yankees hat on earlier. I see it on my IG with the caption I put. You know, we're feeling a little bit out of line right now.
You know, first time 5-0 since '92, baby. Let's go,
bro. Fuck the 5-0. I don't know what you. We don't fuck with 5-0. We gain 100
wins this season. Guaranteed 100 wins.
It's not about. Shut the hell up, bro.
Okay. You on that Dallas Cowboy way for
that?
the Yankees?
You know what?
You
saying
Cowboys mentality.
Listen, we're 5-0 and we don't have our best two pitchers out right now.
Homie, just relax, man.
100 wins easily. 100 wins
easily. All that we should be happy about right now. Let's look. One, again, yeah, they're 5-0, but it was who we beat and the way that we did it to come back. Yeah, it's regular season, but that's a confidence building opening series because who has been the monkey on the Yankees' back for
Houston?
How long?
Yep.
And like I say, that the Yankees fans, while the Yankees fans and the Yankees have been stuck dwelling on Houston cheating. Houston they cheated, they got caught, they paid, but guess what they continued fucking doing? They kept fucking winning while the Yankees were whining. Like
they continue to
you gotta
cheat.
let that shit go, bro. So
they continue to cheat.
I
ain't letting it go. I ain't letting it
go. Homie, if anything, the Yankees got caught cheating after that, and nothing ever happened out of those allegations
because it wasn't real.
So,
it was false.
Yeah,
it was false. Anyway, Rex.
Anyway, what are we talking about today?
What's going on with you, Rex?
Not much, and just enjoying my two American friends talk about sports. It's my favorite.
I hear that with your fashion statement. It's funny you say that. My brother had on a hat the other day, on this weekend actually, and I was just looking at him like, bro, what's up with your fucking hat? He was like, bro, I don't care. I wear Boston hats. I wear what's it called? He named up a whole list of teams. I can't even.
Yeah, he just a bunch of rivals back to back. Yeah.
I stopped listening to everything else he was saying. I was like, what?
Bro, I would never wear.
To be fair, if I went to like a Yankees game, a Blue Jays game, wherever, you know what I'm saying? I'm not coming not dressed for the occasion. Okay, that's something that we don't do, right? Because that opens up a bunch of can of worms for a bunch of weirdos and AOs to say something. Like to me, it's like when someone wears like a baseball jersey at a football game. Like I get it, maybe the same team, like same city, sure. You know, we could kind of let certain things slide. Whoa, show. But then there's some people that just wear like a rant. Like I'll give high schoolers, I'll leave them alone because they're, you know, sports pride, all that, school pride. I'm gonna leave y'all boys alone. I understand. But I've seen some people just wear jerseys that have nothing. Like it could be like Packers and Bears, and someone just has on a Giants jersey just out in the middle of the, you know what I'm saying? And you're just like, I guess, but that ain't for me. That ain't for me.
I'm that guy. I went to see Alabama versus USF, and I was all in Miami Hurricanes clothes.
You weren't the only one. I was there with you.
I don't change my colors on Saturday, homie. Like that.
Yeah,
that
but see
happen.
you're repping, you're repping with a cause. That's different. I know they're just wearing it just so that they're wearing a jersey and they're calling it a day. They're not wearing it out of like the school. Like that's different. That's different. If someone pulled up like that and they see you in the Hurricanes, like college is different to me. Like when you're going NFL or like pro league, then to me like the rules change. But anything college and underneath, by all means, like it'd be weird if you went to like a high school game and you were wearing a high school jersey. You know what I'm saying? Like that'd be kind of tough. But yeah, I think just on professional level, like it's different. But college, sure, go ahead.
Prior to this year, I had been to one Dolphins game. Well, last year. Now, and it was the Patriots Dolphins, and I went wearing Hurricane stuff because I was like, I'm not gonna look like an asshole out here wearing fucking Giant shit or Raider shit. Like I'm gonna look stupid. I was like, I'll just wear the local. No, that's my
See,
team
well, that's
one.
what I'm saying, right? And it's okay. You default to the local. I understand, but like again, if you're in a Bears, you know what I mean, and Packers, and they going at it, and, you know, Aaron Rodgers back then is like, "Fuck you guys, I run Chicago. I am the Windy City." And then they pan over to you in a Giants jersey. You're like, "What the fuck is this?" Right? So, like, yeah,
Like
that's what I'm talking about, right?
That's
But
like the
you know,
Super Bowl.
you'll blend in. Yeah,
I won't.
yeah.
I won't wear. I won't wear a Boston Red Sox hat ever. That's just.
Yeah,
Yeah,
never.
like
I
I
used to have a
have. Like it
Boston
took me
Red
for.
Sox hat.
Not. It took me forever to even break that. I'm not wearing anything but Yankees or Mets. Like
Hmm.
that was my thing.
Hmm.
But now, like at first, I opened up with like, all right, historically New York teams. I had Dodgers, Giants, and then like if I had to match like a Boston hat, you could buy. Guy, really, like if you just buy a Brooklyn Dodgers hat, they exist, they sell them instead
Yeah.
of getting that crusty ass Boston B on your head. Like fuck the fashion statement,
Yeah.
that crusty
Nah,
ass Boston
I
shit,
agree with you.
bro.
Agree with
You know what though? I want to get. I want to get an Expos hat. I want to get some Expo gear. I think
That would be
Expo is
dope.
some
That
fire.
would be
And I
dope.
have a.
I
And
would.
you know what's cool is because like my dad's from there, right? So I know I told you guys a while back ago in December I had gone over there like to go visit, and so that's like I have to go steal from him to go get because he be rocking Expo gear. He'll come to see me and they'll be rocking the Expo gear, and he's like, "Hey, what you know about this, son?" And I said, "Damn you, dad! Like you know you can't get that around here. Like that it is fire. Like the Expo gear is wicked."
Let me ask Christian. Don't you have other baseball jerseys besides Yankees jerseys?
Nah,
Nope, he burned them all.
Oh,
I never had.
I could have sworn. I could have sworn you did.
Nope, nope.
That's a different
No,
Christian.
that yeah. Oh, for me, I'm the person that I only buy even for like, and it's crazy because there's some nice ass basketball jerseys I want to get, but because I'm
Mhm.
not a fan of the team, I won't buy them. Just won't buy them. It's like
I respect
Yeah.
that.
I'm a
I
person that
respect
I
that. Yeah.
only buy and give my money to the teams that I support.
Rep
So,
rep your set.
Generally,
Yeah.
generally, since I'm out of high school and it's not about fashion choices anymore, I'm the same way. I won't.
so.
Like I won't.
You're
Especially,
right,
yeah,
because in
no, I
high
won't.
school I had one. I had actually, well, I didn't buy it. My mom bought it. I was a big fan of Dwayne Wade. I
Mhm.
actually still have his jersey because back then you used to get them extra extra big, right? So it's perfect because I grew and I fit right into that shit now. that 3X jersey when I was a size large in high school, it fits me
Yeah.
now. It's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways,
Not a slim fit.
Christian Christian said he was a large in high school. That man was a large in middle school. I don't want to hear this
Nah,
fucker, bro.
I probably was a large in middle school, but I was wearing larges in my freshman, sophomore year of high school when I got that jersey. So I
Honestly,
definitely
Yeah,
I was the
understand that.
size of I was the size of an NFL running back in like grade 8. Like 225. I think I didn't hit my second growth spurt. I think then I was just under 6 foot. I think I was like 5'10, 5'11-ish.
Oh
But yeah,
wow.
I was like 225 in grade 8. I was like just this not like I was more chubby obviously, but I was just a chubbier like big man then. So trust me, I know I've always just been big for the majority of my life. Yeah.
just a little small translation for our American listeners. Grade 8 translates to the American 8th grade.
Facts, facts. All right,
Thanks for the
guys.
clarification.
Yeah, listen, I appreciate it. Let's jump into today's topic. We had a little fun with it to start opening up. I like when we have genuine conversations like this. I feel like it just runs smoother. But we do have a topic I wanted to talk about. It was actually supposed to be talked about last week, but we ended up talking about something else that we just went down a rabbit hole with. And you know what? I'll tell you guys that later. Let's jump into the topic first. So, but the topic is, why are people and all right, why are celebrities, I would say, so homophobic or being accused of being gay or anything like that? And the reason why I asked
Yeah.
that is because Joyner Lucas did an interview, and I talked to Steven about this already. Joyner Lucas did an interview on the Breakfast Club, and literally if you go back and listen to his interview on the Breakfast Club, shout out to them. Every like 2 to 5 minutes, is no more than a 5-minute span, he would say something, and right away he's like, no homo, or in the new terms, no Diddy. You know, he'd be like, but that's what he
No
was doing
Diddy.
every 2 to 5 minutes. I lie to you not. I went back and listened to it on purpose since we didn't talk about it last week. I was like, I have it written down. Look, got my notes and everything for it right here. You can't see, but every 2 to
Boy, at
5
time.
minutes, yo, I put timestamps on it that he is saying it. And I'm just like, what is up with that? Even Charlemagne was like, yo, why are you doing it? He's like, oh, I don't want people to twist my words or take things out of context and all that. And then, he left it alone. But like, my thing would be like, why? Why are you worried about that? Like, if you're not gay, you're not gay. He did an interview with Eminem talking about homophobic and stuff like that. And how he's not homophobic and all that. But I beg to differ after this. Like, I don't know why do you think people are so. Go ahead, Steven, because you want to say this so bad. So go ahead.
No, I'm just like, what's so the issue is he just kept saying no homo.
Yeah, like it drives me crazy. But it's not only him. It's like a lot of fucking people you watch, even the youngsters that are not celebrities. They're so quick to say no homo right away. Like, why does it matter?
Yeah, but bro, it's okay to say no homo if you said like some weird shit that just came off the tongue wrong. But if you're using it all the time, then obviously you're making up for something. You're not comfortable with your sexuality. Like, first of all, like me, I'm speaking me personally. I really can't be friends with you if we can't be borderline, bromo, hetero bros, bro.
Bro, in a
Like
45-minute interview.
At home, I'm just saying, if you guys were in a crippled state and you guys were peeing, you could count on me to shake it twice for you because if you need a hand, bro, like it's okay.
Yo.
But 3 times I'm gonna look at you and be like, nah, bro, you crossing lines now. Like there's rules, you know what I'm saying?
There's
like,
rules
I
to this.
understand, bro. Like if you break both your hands, dog, like obviously I'm not gonna make eye contact with you. I'll assist you. Then that calls for a no homo.
During a 45-minute
like,
interview,
it was
he
accidental.
said it. 45-minute interview, he said it 29 times. No homo. I even counted how many times he said it, dude.
So imagine when this man makes eye contact with his barber.
No homo.
Like, what's he feel?
No homo.
Yeah.
No homo. Like, and it's just not him though. Like, it's driving me crazy. And I changed that back at the beginning of the topic, and I said celebrities. Why are all people are so scared for what they say to be considered homo or homophobic or whatever? Like, why are you worried about that? Like growing up, we didn't never have to worry about shit like that. We said what we said, and then it was it. I don't remember saying no homo.
There's a funny conversation because Christian got his door closed with his Jamaican wife somewhere, and then we got the Jamaican over here.
No, she's
like
out.
Some of the
she's out. She's not here.
Some of the biggest homophobe culture on earth. Obviously, not all Jamaicans are homophobic. Let me just say that. But Rex knows what I'm talking about. It's a long story. History of homophobia in Jamaica.
We broke it down. We broke it down. Post
combo. They the ditties of that shit. We invented the remix. Like, they invented that shit. Homophobia. They invented that shit.
So I'm curious because
the remix is insane.
You're sitting there combing your beard, like you really like sitting back thinking on this as the youngster. Maybe you could. I feel like this wasn't in our generation. This is something new that just came out within the last 15 years, if that 10, 15 years. So like for the young people, since you're the youngest, explain what's up with this, bro. What's going on?
What's funny is because every time we bring up the generational gap, I think we're less than 10 years, right? So it's always funny, like things you like have a question on, or like things that you just missed out on, which is always funny. But honestly, I don't know. Because no spoiler, but we did talk about it post last podcast. And just a couple of the things like growing up. I don't know. Like it's that. It's like you want to say like Caribbean culture has definitely have a like it. Okay. Caribbean culture has a huge play on the world, and it absolutely does. Like it's funny how like the tiniest islands really make such a big wave in other places. And you have like places like Canada where they call it the multicultural melting pot, and then I'm sure like in the States too, like it's not as I'm sure I'm sure it's probably more, but you guys aren't labeled that because everybody sees all the other stuff that goes on that doesn't give you the title like first thing coming up. A lot of people think of US and other things, but just again, like growing up, it was just a thing, but you could always like it always just boiled back to kind of like the Jamaican culture, Caribbean culture, and just the obsession. And really what we broke down is that like when you do the history and you understand that there was a certain group of people that use that type of not the language but the physical aspect of that, right, and as a fear mongering technique and as punishment. And you can definitely say that that trickle down effect has affected said group of people. And then it's in their music, it's in how they talk, it's in everything. And then they then go ahead and influence a bigger group, you know what I mean, a group of, let's say, 1,000 people influences a group of over 1 billion others. And then, just that so happens to be that a certain part, and I want to say it's mainly like North America, but I know a little bit of like England, like the English people do it as well. They have their own version of it. But essentially, I don't know. It feel like it stems from a whole lot of stuff. Like I think Lucas Joyner's around the same age as me. So when it comes to that, like again, if you're anywhere, born 94, around that time, you went to high school around the time that, whatever year it was, you were in school. People just always did that. People just like for some reason, like it's just a high school thing that like it's just a high school trend that got out of hand. Like it always does. Like it started off as people, just trying to get someone to say that they're gay or whatever for some whatever reason, and then it just becomes a whole thing. You can't say this, you can't say that, your mannerisms are this and that, and then people play into it, and then people also just find it funny too, right? And I think more so it's become an entertainment factor because it's just funny. Like again, what's it called, those guys like Mace and Cameron, you say anything around them, they pause and everything. I think there was this one clip that went viral. They're talking to like Le'Veon Bell, and Le'Veon Bell said he was like foaming at the mouth, like because like the offers that these dudes are presenting him. And again, it's just funny how he worded it, and they kind of let him rock for a bit until they're like, "Nah, man, like you have to pause that. Like it's super crazy." And it's funny enough. But I found out the other day that same man has an OnlyFans. So I mean, like, but it's again, I guess to like answer your question, it's definitely just a culture thing that kind of went wild, and not everybody, but because of the internet, it's now like amplified because that stuff was only for me happening in high school. And then when I left high school, like people weren't doing that in college, right? Unless you know somebody and people that kind of grew up with that kind of style of thinking, right? Because that doesn't work with like other people that don't think like that. Like if you try to pause somebody who's just like, you know, man, I was trying to get, I got hit from the back. I got in a car accident. I got hit from the back, right? Like someone is just going to be, if someone doesn't think the way you think and you're like, you try to pause them, they're going to be like, no, like they just genuinely hit me from the back. Like, what more do you want? Right. And then it's like, pause again. Right. But again, it only works if two parties are very aware of that kind of style, I guess, of social conversation. But then also too, I think Boondocks definitely is a cult classic, and a lot of people you find out watch Boondocks more than they say that they didn't. And again, that they had a whole thing about that, right? Like just the gay culture in rap, and that that the fact that it was being suppressed or people were trying to hide it. You know, Diddy, it comes out in these different ways, and then they affluence other people by saying like, yeah, like by quote unquote lying, saying that they're straight, but they themselves are not, and their ideas that they're doing or the things that they're giving off to the world, like with their sexuality included, they're not made for the people. They're not made for the people that they're lying to their audience about, and then their audience ends up being. Yeah, you got to watch the Boondocks episode about that. This shit was great. Like it basically tricked Riley into thinking that like he's gay when he's really not, but because of all these influences and things around him, it messes him up. And he then at the end of the episode questions his own sexuality. And the man's a child, like the kid's a child, right? Like I think they're like in grade school, like early grade school, right? And like he's confused because of all these things that are coming in from all over, and no one's there to just tell him to be himself, right? Everything else is telling you to be everything that you're not. And then you have all this other information, and then you're getting confused about it. It fucks with you. And that's what I also think is the same thing too. If people were very open about how they are and how they operate, and then when they, because they obviously incorporate that into their lifestyle and things that they do, they were honest, people would fuck with them. You know, I don't want to bring up the old P Diddy fiasco, but if P Diddy was bi or gay and he kept it a buck, yeah, he might have lost a lot of like business in one regard, but at least if he was honest, then this wouldn't have happened. Because that's the thing, is that like when you hide or oppress who you are and then you try to take it out and do that to other people, then this is kind of where we get to. I know I've been answering your question for a
No,
long
you're
time,
fine.
but
You're fine.
I
I
think
like how
I'm
you
in a
went into
safe
it.
space. I think I'm in a safe space to stop here right now. But yeah, that's what I think. Like it's really deeply rooted. You know what I mean? Like it's really not as simple as like, yeah, like it's just a like a subculture thing. Like it goes deeper. Well, yeah, like a subculture thing, but it's deeper. Like there's a lot of layers to it, you know? Because even again, like we're not even from the same area, right? We're actually respectfully on two different points.
Yeah.
And like to still be like, yeah, like people like here talk like that. And then, you know, you're down there and people talk like that. And I know we're talking about the interview and they're in New York, but it's everywhere, right? Like I can find Floridians, you know what I mean, that would do the pause, you know what I mean? Or we could go to LA and they do the same thing. Or we come to Canada, in Toronto, BC. I find some French people, you say that, they'll be like, le pause, you know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah,
it's just
we're
how it is,
Pause.
right? Le pause,
the
yeah.
Hey,
pause.
hey.
Mm-hmm.
What is BC?
Oh, British Columbia. I apologize. British Columbia.
There, there
It's
you go.
above Seattle. Above Seattle.
There you go. Vancouver ish.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Vancouver
Just
is
clarify.
the city. BC is or British Columbia is the
Yeah,
province.
the
Yeah.
province.
Yeah. There you
You
go.
guys have
Like the
what,
state.
6 or 7?
We have about 9 and 2 territories.
And what
9
is that? Those
provinces and 2 territories. It's the two
fucking
furthest northern spots that stops the Russians from coming down and blindsiding you guys in Alaska.
What city are you in Canada?
I'm in Toronto.
You're in Toronto. Okay, so yeah, you're roughly
You didn't know this whole
15
time?
1500. I knew it was somewhere around there, but I wanted to make sure before I
Mhm.
say so. Yeah, I mean, we're about 1500 miles away, and it's just crazy to know that
Yeah.
what's going on
It's
here.
relative. Everything is all relative. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the culture, right? It's more than just a American thing or like a Canadian thing. And I tell you, you find like those new British, UK content creators, they do it too. Like you know, the man, them, the road man, they have their own style of saying certain things. But I just think that that's because of culture and where it then stems from, and then
How,
where it
how,
breaks out from.
how far are you from Detroit?
Detroit, I can get there in like 2 hours. Like this, no, the city, right?
That's
That's the
far
city,
shit.
right? Because Michigan is the state, right? Like I
Yeah,
can get to
Michigan
Michigan in
State.
2 hours,
Yeah.
but I could probably get to Detroit in 5, probably.
No, you got to be sooner than that.
Yeah.
Hold on, because
Hold
like
on.
I would just go down Windsor. Like
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah, it says you would
there's a
take so it's 3 hours and 47 minutes. It says you would take like
okay.
401 to 403.
Hey, the
All the way straight.
401.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just take it all the way straight to Detroit. 3
You know
hours
what's
and 47
crazy?
minutes.
You know what's crazy is the 401 goes across. Well, it's part of the bigger Canadian highway, but the 40 like the 400 series is like the Ontario section, and then it's like basically one big highway that can get you across, and then it has certain path, like one other path where it splits in certain areas, when I looked up the highway system, because I wanted to learn like the different eyes and which way is what, and because I know like in New York you have certain streets like the numbered streets, if they're even, it's like north south, and then you have the odds, I believe, is east west. You know what I mean? Like it's like stuff like that, and I know the highway was kind of like that, and then you compare like your system to ours.
Yeah,
Fucking hilarious, bro.
well, we have highways that go like straight up and down, and then left.
Yeah,
to
but
right.
you guys have a ton, right? You guys have a bunch of different I-95s, I-85,
Yeah.
right? 75, 65. We have like from sea to shining sea, you got like the highway, and then it splits into certain spots, and then it comes back, and then maybe again. But like that's it. That's all she wrote. Like you can get from one point, gets another. Like you can, like the whole point is like they said to get from California to New York in the simplest fashion, right? I think that was like their whole point of, they did it before. They had someone start off in California, and then they make their way to New York, and then they calculated how long it would be, and then they calculated like, different terrains, because certain places were already established, certain weren't, right? And so it was the Midwest that was the hardest for them to get through, because still country around there. So once they started developing and getting all that, then it helped get faster. But yeah, I digress.
Okay, appreciate that. I don't
No
know
worries.
how we just got into topics of highways, but
it's because we talked about how far I am from Detroit, and then I brought up the highway from there.
Oh, Steven, do you want to add anything about this homophobic slur stuff?
No, I don't. Homophobia is not a concept I understand. Doesn't make sense to me why another girl. Why I don't know. Just like literally, why a heterosexual man would worry about what another man does with his private. I just don't get it. To me that makes you borderline gay, because you're worried what another man's doing with his junk.
Exactly, bro. Like it doesn't matter if it doesn't affect you. It doesn't matter. Like
so, growing up, you guys never heard that at all. Like even on your tail ends of high school.
Oh, bro, I think no homo really started more in my early years, or like second or third year in college.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it started slowly coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
nah.
You think I've never heard it in land sounds being said. Come on, think about it. Look, you're thinking back. That was like 20 years ago, 25 years ago.
I mean,
talking about that, you going to your 30-year reunion? Are you gonna go?
No, I don't want to see you people.
Well, 20-year reunion actually.
Right. I hate people that are stuck in the past. Leave that shit. Go back, and there's always like, it's just cringeworthy people, especially just like.
I always wonder why people can't get past the past, but that's for a different topic, because that's
a good one. Yeah, that's
definitely a good one to talk about.
That's a good one. No spoiler, but mental illness. But continue.
Yeah, mental illness. But anyways, guys, listen. Before we leave, I just want you to know
that we're already here. Damn.
I had one person that agreed with me about volleyball. Hey.
They probably fat.
That one person agreed with me.
Yeah, what the fuck?
They probably fat. Fuck.
One person agreed with me. Everybody else, I did get roasted by a few friends. They were like, "What the hell am I talking about?"
Yeah.
If it's in they said the best way to know if it's a sport is if it's in the Olympics. And I'm like, that's not true, because I'm like, softball for females.
Isn't volleyball?
Softball for females is no longer in the Olympics, or it's just coming back to the Olympics. So what are you saying? That softball's not a sport? And then I shut them up with that concept.
Baseball's not a sport according to that.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
So I had to shut them down with that, and then they thought about it, and I was like, yeah. So there's a lot of guidelines of what makes a sport. We already covered that in the last episode, but I just want to let you guys know I have one person that agreed with me. That's all I need. One person. I'm happy.
Yeah, you guys can get over there in the corner and be happy that there's two of you, and you guys can talk about how it's not a sport.
That's right.
See how long that conversation lasts.
Anyways, guys, if you guys want to chime in, let us know what you think about these homophobic slurs and why people are so homophobic, what stuff they're saying, and they're quick to say pause or no homo.
Or have you also experienced like being a part of that culture? Have you also witnessed that, like, at a certain time it just kind of, and then now social media runs with it?
There you go. I love that. I love that. Let us know. You can reach us, you know how, at cutthecrap with 2 P's, 1 at gmail.com. That's CUTTHECRAPP1 at gmail.com. You can send us a message on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Discord. You can reach us all there. If you have our personal numbers, send us a message there as well. We love to hear back from you guys every time you respond. It is always great. Brings me joy to know that somebody's still listening to us and responding. So we do appreciate you guys. Until next week, we will catch you guys later. Yankees will probably be 10-0 by then. Let's go. Have a good one, guys. Peace.